Good morning, Alamance Presbyterian Church. This is your pastor, Kyle Goodman, coming to you before the sun is up. Now, you all know me pretty well. One of the things that you may not know about me is that mornings and I go together like water and oil. I'm sure you imagine that your pastor wakes up every morning like the great faithful Christians throughout history, putting their feet to the ground and praising God for the day that God has made, remembering with people like Martin Luther that I am baptized, that is my first and truest identity. Friends, I have to be honest, I come out of bed in the morning pretty hard. There's no way I'm remembering that I'm baptized before I've been standing in the shower for at least 5 minutes, letting the water hit my face. There's no way I remember that this is the day the Lord has made until I'm at least 2/3 in the way into my cup of coffee. Not one who rises often before the dawn, so this moment's a little unusual for me. But I did want to just think with you about it this morning. I have in mind the Marys that first Easter morning, who got up before first light and made their way to the tomb, looking for Jesus' body. It was the first day of week. The day before, that Saturday, was their Sabbath, and they were not allowed to go and tend to the body that day. They were under a strict stay-at-home order, not for disease reasons, not because of the plague, but because of their religious devotion. They did no work on the Sabbath day. So this was their very first opportunity to go and to prepare his body. And just getting up and making this little walk down to the shelter at Linwood Lake to pray this morning with some of my neighbors, I am mindful of those who get up each and every morning, who begin their day not with blessings and prayer, but with earnestness and worry and doubt and dread, particularly that which comes in this time. Those first women didn't go looking for a miracle, not really. They may have thought about it, they may have remembered his words, but they carried with them the spices. They carried with them those things that would help prepare Jesus' body for its end. And they must have carried with them the weight of the world. Incredible grief and sorrow. Their whole world had just completely fallen apart. They were broken in mind, body, spirit. That's where they are when resurrection comes. That's where they are when a hope beyond them stirs. That's where they are. Maybe that's where we can be today. In this place where before the dawn, before the new light rises and God's new creation begins, we can find amidst our despair and frustration, amidst our overwhelming sense of foreboding and dread, the truth that God is with us, that God will never leave us, that we are not abandoned, that we are not alone. Perhaps we can begin our Easter day. We can begin Easter in such a time as this, mindful of just how good that God is to us. Mindful that Christ came back, that Christ found life again, renewed and restored. The love of God was greater than even death, greater than our fear, greater than our hurt. And so, people of God, I invite you, when you can, to find that moment where you too can walk out and see the sunrise. You too can give thanks for the day that the Lord has made. That you too can remember that amidst death, there is resurrection, just as the sun rises and sets every day. Thanks be to God for God's faithfulness and love to us.